We've gotten to a place within ourselves that we know we are the most valued asset that we have. So, especially when it comes to romance and partnership and connecting with another soul, we're not going to give that up. And it's beautiful when we can, devote ourselves to a higher path. But guess what? We're still human. We still need connection. I think it's really important when we get to that point that we have an open mind and we go into that experience with an open heart as well, because what I've learned and what I've noticed is that once I opened myself up to, connecting with my soulmate or my soul tribe, my family, I realized that it wasn't what I expected. A lot of times when we're looking for the perfect match, when we're looking for the perfect person, we have no idea that the perfect person for us might not be anything that we are aware of. It might not be classified yet in your conditioning as, this perfect match. You see what I mean? Like, the universe is going to pick the perfect person for your growth. Because honestly, what relationships are is they are agreements for us to sign up with another soul saying that, yes, I am going to learn the majority of my lessons from this soul. Relationships are just contracts of expansion and growth for your soul. We want to be wise with our selection, but we also want to have an open mind and an open heart. I guarantee the person that comes in as your perfect match, they're going to have a lot to them that you couldn't even have imagined. But at the same time, it is good for us to visualize what it is that we want to pull into our reality. It's like spirit or the universe knows way far beyond our limited minds of what perfection could be for us. So just be open and don't allow your limitations or your past conditionings dictate what your future relationships could be like, because we could really expand once we open up and once we kind of allow ourselves to expand. There's so much potentiality. The person that you're looking for might not be what you've been looking for. Not just spiritual people or people who are devoted to yoga or some sort of practice or some sort of, meditation group. Just because somebody isn't attached to all of those things does not mean that they are not evolved consciously. There are so many ways that the human psyche and mind can perceive spirit. And just because someone isn't aligned with some certain ideology or some sort of conditioning or group doesn't make them any less holy. I realize there are evolved souls all over this globe, regardless of race, regardless of conditioning, regardless of socioeconomic status. All of that stuff goes out the window when it comes to where people are at in their evolutionary process. So don't discount people who you don't feel are spiritual enough to date, Yeah, you don't want to be with a muggle. And I know that word is so ridiculous, but I know you don't want to be with somebody who is a non-believer, someone who is so rigid in their belief systems that they cannot even expand out of their own limitations. I know you don't want to go on Tinder and just mess around and just date anybody. Of course, you want to keep your light sacred and protect your heart and protect your energy and your space and all of that. But at the same time, as you're calling in your soulmate, as you get ready to enter into relationship, just have an open mind, be ready for anything, because the universe is full of surprises, and especially when it comes to love and connecting with other people, there's nothing but lessons to learn. So we got to be open and we got to surrender to the highest good. Maybe your soulmate doesn't look exactly like you wanted them to, but their soul and their heart is so pure and they love you so divinely that it doesn't matter. We have to sort of go with the flow of what is in the highest good and the highest order for everyone involved. I just think that once I started to just be open to a bigger picture of learning the lessons on a deep soul level from whoever was showing up into my life, it kind of just helped me accept more people for who they are. Just not even on a romantic level, but just on a human level, seeing that there's so much depth within the human spirit. You can really learn from anyone. I think I'm just saying this because I just know a lot of people that have done a lot of work on themselves, and we get to a place where our standards are so high and we're just like, no, I'm not going to let anybody into my sacred space because I've worked so hard on myself. And I get that. But there also comes a time where, okay, the work is, finished up to some, certain extent. And now it's time to share, especially on the spiritual path. We do so much work within our little incubation space, within our own psyche and our mind and our spirit. And we become these like little rosebuds. And at one point, the universe is going to come give us some sun and some water and say, hey, it's time to open up. It's time to share your light, your fragrance with the world. And that's when we got to do it. But that doesn't mean we should settle. I'm just saying that we should be more open to what the universe is trying to bless us with. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to have that openness. It is beneficial to accept differences in your partner and to allow them to be opposite or to allow them to have a different perception on life, because what comes of that is learning and growth within your own self. Even better if this person brings a whole nother element to reality, even better. More to learn, more to explore. And it can be fun. So anyway, I feel like I really love where I'm at in terms of being able to connect and open up to relationship. As a person who's isolated for many years, I get it. I get how, traumatizing relationships can be, but they can also be beautiful and, warming to your heart and compassionate, and just relationships can be amazing. We can choose what we want. It doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be a bad thing where we're vulnerable and we're just susceptible to being hurt on a deep level. No, it can be a trusting, loving, beautiful experience with another person.